Right, I'm back. So, to colour your petals, I've used two colours here. I've used some sunflower, I think it's sunflower yellow from Edible Art, and I've used ginkgo from Edible Art, which is what you would use on your pods. And I'm also going to use a bit of a red there, but I have already got some on a brush. You don't need much of it, it's just to catch the edge of the stamen. So I'll start off by colouring the petals, and like before, the ones I've cut out, I've got two here to colour. I'm not going to, all the rest of them are already coloured, ready, so we've got time to put it together. So I'm going to start off by doing the yellow. I coloured the, I don't know whether I mentioned before, but I coloured the paste with melon. I wanted a pale yellow because with a lot of flowers they do tend to be a bit paler towards the bottom of the petal, and because you can't actually see the inside of the flower, I did actually download some pictures on from the internet. I'm only going down that far with the yellow, and then the same on the back. The veining on this is a bit similar to a Vanda orchid actually. It's quite a nice veining is this, it's something a bit different to what I've done before. This is a flower I haven't done with my classes as well, so I'm sure that when they see this they'll want to do it. Oh, that's a soft one, didn't want that one. That's a hard one. Picked the wrong one up there. Mind you, they do look the same because it hasn't really changed in colour much when it's been drying. Just be careful you don't break the bottom of your petals. Right, so once you've got the yellow one there, then we need a little bit of green just at the base here. So if you just brush upwards from the bottom part of the petal, and I just realised I picked the soft one up with the, no it isn't, it's a hard dried one, we're alright. I always talk to myself like that when I'm doing things. One of the hazards of living on your own. Apart from the cat, he listens. And of course Alexa, now I've got one of those things that talk to you that don't understand half of what you ask them, but there we are. If anybody's got one, they know what I mean. Right, now then, the petals that I've done, I've knocked some more off there, so you'll have to ignore that little bit round there. I've used sunflower from Sugar Flare, I think it was, to colour this. So I've got a deeper colour on the stamens, and what I'm going to do here is I've got a red brush here, and I'm just going to catch the edge of those petals, the inner petals, just to give them a little bit more detail, like that. Sorry, I'm going off camera again, doing it again. Right, so that's that done. So if I get those out of the way, get all my bits and pieces out. The purple one that I did, I started off with that with a pale lilac, and then dusted it with the violet, I think, with that, which is this one, another one from Edible Art. They've got quite a few different colours. They've got violet, lavender, empress purple, all the colours like the yellows, the purples, the burgundies, everything else. Is a full range of colours going through the spectrum of different shades. So this is where you can get the different effects in your flowers that you're doing by using all these different colours. So what I want now is some I'm using some quarter width tape here. I'm using, sorry, half width tape. The reason I'm using half width tape is because I don't want it to be too bulky on the back of the stem. Although they have got quite a fleshy stem, you don't see that because it's under the water. I mean, anybody that knows anything about lotus flowers and water lilies, the roots are down at the bottom of the pond, and then the stems go up, and the leaves float, appear to float, and the flowers on the surface. Right, so start off by bending your wires down and putting your petals in. Sorry, that's my timer. I timed myself on the other video and I didn't time myself on this one. That's a soft one, we don't want that one. Put that down there. And that. Should have a soft one somewhere. I'm talking to myself again, just ignore me. And because what I've done here, I've done 12 of these narrow petals. So what I've done is I've done 2 layers of narrow petals and then 1 layer of the wider petals. So if you didn't watch the first video, I'll go back and watch that so you can see how I did the petals. And what I'm doing is I put 3 in first, because we don't actually have the flowers in the UK. Well, not lotus flowers anyway. I'm having to guess a bit at this, but there we are. Sometimes we have to do, if it's a flower from another country that we don't have over here, although we have got a very good variety. There's lots of flowers that we have over here that we never used to have. It's always good if you actually have the flower that you're doing in front of you, so you can see how it went together, even if you've got to take it apart to do that. And another one. The advantage with the veiner on this one is that it does shape your petals the way you want them to go. So you're all ready to go. So once you've done that, then with the next set of petals, then just go in between the last layer of petals to put this layer in. Sorry, I'm going off camera again, aren't I? I'm doing it again, smack my hands. If I tilt my camera up a little bit, so you can see a bit better there. Problem is when I'm doing this, because I have it down so you can see what I'm doing on the board, I have to be very careful that the camera doesn't stop if I move it, because otherwise then you end up with loads of videos like I did on the first one that I did with the roses, if you've been and seen that. There's about 6 videos on that, but there is a lot of different steps in there, a lot of points that I've covered on there that help as far as things like colouring and putting sprays together and things like that. You'll find all that information on there. Doesn't make any difference what kind of flowers they are, the sprays still go together the same way. So I'm just going to tape down a bit now with that, so that those petals stay where I want them to stay. And you can move them around once you've got them all in, just to get them as you want them. Then go back up, start your tape off again and put your wider petals in. Doesn't matter where you start. Don't forget, if your petals are moving around a lot, pull your wires down to make sure that they're in tight, so that once you've got them in, they don't move around unless you want to move them around. Just need enough movement so that you can move them, but you don't want them wobbling about once you've got your flower together. And then tape down. Once you've taped down, then you can adjust your petals as you want them. I've missed one. I got one there. Never mind. So there we are. That's the yellow one, and that's the purple one. Now, as I say, the information that I got from the internet, I've printed off a picture so that you can see what they look like. And as you can see by this, there are lots of different colours in lotus flowers. You've got pinks, you've got whites, you've got pale pinks, whites with a bit of pink on the edge, some that are reddy in the centre and paler on the outside, yellow ones like the one I've done there, purple ones like the one I've done here. There's a lot of different colours in them, so if you go online and just do a search on Google, it's amazing what you can find on there. And there are other websites that you can look at to get information on most of the flowers, on all the flowers that we do really. Somewhere on the internet there'll be something. So those are the two lotus flowers that I've done, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and you come back again to see the next video that I do. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I might do an orchid next time. Look forward to seeing you again, and take care and stay safe. Let's leave those on there.